Look, ma, no hands. Bicycle. I ride my bike. Bicycle. I ride my bicycle. I ride my bicycle. My friend Judy likes to ride through the puddles. Sometimes she gets stuck in the middle. She falls over and she gets real muddy. It doesn't matter 'cause Jude's still my buddy.
Welcome back to Lehigh Valley Discourse. Here to discuss bicycle safety in the Lehigh Valley are bicycle commuter Janneke Bos and cat shop manager Frank Pavlik. Welcome to Lehigh Valley Discourse.
Thanks,
you.
Arnie.
Janneke, you are a bicycle commuter. Do you drive anywhere?
I carpool sometimes, yes, especially when I was still pregnant and more tired. I took opportunity of others going the same way as me. But I don't need to, now that I have delivered and I'm more fit, I like to go by bicycle.
How far do you commute each day?
With around 5 miles. I don't go much further usually. If I need to go further, I take advantage of the buses.
Frank, do you commute too?
Yeah, Arnie, I've been commuting since probably 1981. I'm not completely car-free at this point. I do share rides, carpool, use the bus occasionally. But I have been, 4 years at a time. I've been, during various periods, I've been car-free.
And what do you do at CAT, Frank?
I'm the bike shop manager, and what that involves is keeping the inventory in good shape, refurbishing bikes that are donated for our bicycle library, which I'll talk about, briefly, and helping our members learn how to fix their bikes. And I also am the head mechanical instructor.
And you train people to fix their own bikes?
I do, and I'm always looking for really good students. We're lucky to have Scott teaching our beginner classes. His raw enthusiasm just shines so bright that he ends up passing along those people to the advanced class to me, which is really wonderful. He's a great warm-up, and in my class we dig into it a little bit more. We start ripping the guts out and learning how to do overhauls and build wheels and that sort of thing. But I'm always looking for star students, and I'd have to say that Janneke is actually pretty good with a bicycle, and she's shaking her head right now, but she's actually pretty remarkable. She does so much by herself and just asks for cues and a little bit of help here and there, but she does a lot of her own maintenance. It's taken her a couple of years to learn how to do basic stuff, but if you hand her a wrench and a bike repair stand, she goes right at it and doesn't stop until she needs a little help, which is awesome to me. I love people who just want to get right in there.
Janneke, tell us a little bit about yourself. When did you start cycling?
Well, I grew up in Holland where you don't really need a car. A lot of families don't own cars. So neither did we. And we either walked or cycled everywhere. Town to town, music lessons, school, everything. It was just something you didn't think about.
And you came to the States how long ago?
About 10 years.
And did you find the culture different?
Yes. I found that I was very proud to be independent on a bicycle, and you don't need to always drive everywhere. I saw that there was not much interaction in the roads. You don't see many people because they're in the cars, in the shops, not outside as much. So I like to promote that by just doing that.
Do you find it more difficult to cycle here than you did in Holland?
Yes, because there are no hills in Holland. But it's also less windy, so there is a trade-off.
Well, Frank, what do you think about Bethlehem as bicycle heaven?
What I like about it is that the Lehigh Valley is actually a huge hub of bicycle activity, which goes largely unnoticed, except for striking events like the and places like the Velodrome, which is a prize winner of a venue for world-class cycling. But we're also home to just some of the most amazing mountain bike trails in the region. And also, it's a very friendly place in terms of the fact that it's pretty compact. We don't have the endless urban sprawl of the big cities. We have, enough of it as far as I'm concerned, but we have a somewhat adequate public transportation system with the buses, which, due to CAT's efforts years ago, we got bike racks installed on the fronts of those buses, obtained federal funds, and so now it's a piece of cake. You can ride your bike whatever distance you find comfortable, and then use the bus for the rest of it. So you have those aspects, and it's also home for I think some of the best roadways to ride on. I think some of the roads connecting the cities are actually pretty nice, and we have so many beautiful small villages and burgs just on the outskirts of the main cities that are really beautiful to cycle through, and the countryside with the covered bridges and so forth. I think it's a great goal to shoot for, to dub someplace bicycle heaven and then just go for it. I think that's what we're about. We believe in bicycles and mass transit and pedestrian rights and access and multi-user trails as well. But what Bicycle Heaven represents for us at CAT is a goal. We want people to believe it, and we're doing whatever we can to make it happen. And you've heard other people say that. You'll hear our director talk in a little bit, and Meg Buck, who's one of our most enthusiastic recent acquisitions at CAT. And we bring enthusiasm to what we do, and we love to inspire it in people. And the bicycle to me is, in my heart of hearts, it's one of the most magical machines, because you can understand it, and it'll do some of the most remarkable things in the laws of physics in the most simple way.
Well, thank you, Frank. Janneke, you're a new mother, I hear.
Yes. I have a baby of 10 days old now.
10 days. Congratulations.
Thank you.
How did that cycling while pregnant work for you?
Oh, this is an excellent question. I had to trade in my bike several times for a different one at the bicycle library that CAT operates, to allow for more room with my belly. A different shape of bike for a different shape of my body.
So you were able to cycle through the entire pregnancy?
Yes, without a problem.
Frank, tell us a little bit about the bicycle library.
The bike library is pretty cool. I think it's a pretty unique offering. I haven't done any Google searches for it, but I'm sure it's in existence somewhere in a similar form, but we're actually developing a warehouse full of bikes that can be ridden by members. And what it involves is a certain dollar level of buy-in as a member. And with that membership, you get to go through our basic classes. And then you have access to any of the bikes that we have that you want to ride at any time. So if, for instance, 1 week you want to be a bicycle commuter on a road bike and see what that's like because you've never owned a road bike and you're not sure if you want to go out and spend $800 or $1,000 on a road bike, you can come and find a road bike that fits, and we'll set you up, and off you go, and we'll give you the basic maintenance, primer on how to care for the road bike, and the dangers to avoid on a road bike as opposed to a hybrid or a mountain bike. And if you decide you don't like it, you don't have to own it. You can go back to riding a mountain bike or a hybrid or a unicycle if we have it, a unicycle, whatever. It's a pretty cool concept. So it's kind of like going to the library and listening to your favorite CD for a week and then going in and getting a whole stack of other CDs the next week, So to me, it was our director, Steve Schmidt's idea, and I think it's just a brilliant solution for all the donations that we get, and it's my job to oversee the combing through of the bike donations and to pick the best bikes for our bike library and get them into usable shape.
How big a fleet do you have now?
I actually don't know what the count is right now. I did see Scott sent out an email with a listing of the inventory. I think we're in the 30-plus range of bikes, but there's quite a bit more that we have scheduled for maintenance and for refurbishing. And by the time, I would say, mid-year this year, we're going to have quite a sizable fleet, probably closer to 100.
Janneke, do you own a bike now? Or do you just use the library's bike?
I just use the library's bikes and trailers.
And you use the trailer to tow your son, daughter?
My son, I have a 5-year-old, almost 6-year-old son and a newborn daughter. So yes, I transport them like that in the trailers. Plus it's got great space, a lot of space for all the...
Do your grocery shopping?
Groceries, toys, picnics, everything goes in there.
Everything goes by bicycle.
Yeah.
Do you ever drive?
I don't drive. I don't have a driver's license.
That's rare in the United States.
Yes, I do not aspire to have one. Yeah.
There's no need for one for you because you ride bicycles everywhere you need to go, or you take public transportation, which is the idea behind the Coalition for Appropriate Transportation.
Exactly.
Frank, tell us a little bit about these mechanics courses that you're teaching, and how can listeners find out about them and take one if they want?
You need to call Kat. We'll give you the contact information for that. That's phone number would be 610-954-5744, and speak to someone there directly. You can also punch us up on the web. It's www.car-free.org, and you'll find a website with course descriptions and the fees attached, and find out when the most recent offerings are. The course itself is very interesting. It's adaptable to whoever is in the group, the different levels of skill and interest that people bring. How deeply they want to get involved with the actual mechanical skills. I don't turn out bike mechanics in 12 hours. That's what I would say. You can come to the course with the expectation that you're going to learn a whole bunch of stuff that's really cool that you can use. And I'll work with members who have taken the course indefinitely, as long as they're a current member. They'll keep refurbishing, refreshing, and deepening their skills as long as they want.
Now, I took that course a number of years ago through the Northampton Community College. Is that still offered through their courses also?
Don't believe that we're doing that anymore. I think it's actually our desire to bring people to the building, to the co-op.
And if you are a member of CAT, do you get to use the shop?
Yes. Well, actually, we have two different memberships. We have the car-free CAT membership, which is $25 a year. And then there's the bicycle co-op, Bethlehem Bicycle Co-op. And that membership, the basic bronze membership, is $30 additional to the CAT membership. That bronze membership gets you in to allow you to use the tools, pick the brains of the mechanics there on duty, whether it's Scott or myself or some of the other volunteers. And by the way, that's really one of the things that I'm really I'm so excited about. We have some within the last year. I'd say we have a couple of recent mechanical volunteers who are just really exceptional, and it's great to work with them. And I'm always looking for if there's any bicycle mechanics listening to this program who work in shops. We're always looking for you guys to come out and kick in a couple hours a month. Be great to have some real aces out there. Show your stuff.
Well, CAT is probably an organization similar to WDIY in that it's volunteer-driven.
That's correct, yeah.
So if you're out there and you're a bike mechanic and you're interested in helping out CAT, give them a call at, what was that number?
610-954-5744.
Okay, and that's car-free.org on the web.
Yeah, that's correct.
And I'd like to thank you, Frank, and you, Janneke, for coming and joining us on Lehigh Valley Discourse.
Oh, thanks very much for having us, Arnie.
Coming up
Arnie.
next will be Meg Buck and Steve Schmidt from CAT. But first, these messages.
Push on a pedal, get ya heart started. Push on a pedal, push it down and up again. Push on a pedal, get ya heart started. Push on a pedal, push it down and up again. Get on your bike, sit on the seat, push your feet on the pedal, and ride it all around, ride it all around. Get on your bike, sit on the seat, put your feet on the pedals, and ride it all around, ride it all around.